And right now I'm doing box classes. I'm proud to say that probably the fittest guy in the room. So that's something I'm really proud about, and that's thanks to the program.
Today's guest is Roberto Violanti, one of our Fit Father brothers from Italy. Roberto is a trained Italian chef, so he's no stranger to great tasting food. And in this episode, Roberto shares how he makes this FFB lifestyle work, his journey of losing 20 kilos or around 45 pounds, and how he's creating a healthier future for his young son and his family.
It's been such a transformational journey, not just in terms of fat loss and results, but also it's been an empowering journey because I got to meet a lot of great men like me in my situation that wanted to do better for themselves and for their families. It's been a great ride so far.
All right, Roberto, welcome officially to the Fit Father Project podcast, my friend. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anthony. Thanks for having me.
So I'd love to kick things off by you introducing yourself, your name, your age, where you're from, and anything you'd like to tell us about your family or what you do for work.
Yes. So my name is Roberto Violanti, and I was born in Italy and still living in Italy, but I had a little while abroad. So that's from where my English comes from. It's not as good as any other brothers being here previously on the podcast, but hopefully it will be enough. And a little bit about myself. I used to be a chef, professional. Then I decided to come back to Italy. I decided to join my family, and right now I'm working in the family business. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I believe you have a young, is it a young son or a young daughter?
Yes. I got this beauty of the nature. 2 years old is just it's great to be a dad. It totally changed my perspective on life, and it's probably one of the biggest reason because I'm here still to this day. As I was telling you right before, it's been 1 year for me, so I'm very happy to have turned that landmark, and I'm looking to go forward.
That's excellent. Well, so it's been 1 year since you've been on the Fit Father Project. I guess the first question I have for you is, why did you get started and how did you find out about the program? Like, what was motivating you to make a change in your life?
I was not very happy with myself, as in where I was in terms of looking. I was a little chubbier, and I wanted to get rid of the excess fat and all that aesthetic compartment. But most of all, the thing that's been most beneficial for me is the structure of your program, Dr. Anthony, because it gave me a total different perspective of fitness and wellness in general. Because I did pretty much any single diet, any fat diet out there. It was paleo, then keto, then paleo again. But since I found the Fit Father Project, there's no need to look anywhere else.
That's awesome. And since joining over a year, what have been some of your results? Like, how has this program changed your life? Certainly physically, I'd love to hear any of the stats and changes, but also this could be a deeper conversation beyond just the physical changes.
Yes. And it's certainly gone that direction too. I started, as I told you, because I was a little overweight. My weight used to be over 90 kilos, roughly 91, 92. And since I worked the program up to the FFR 30X phase 3, I lost a total amount of nearly 20 kilos. I was as down as 71.5 at my lowest.
Wow.
Yes. So after that, I wanted to take some muscle tone, and I started transitioning over to OSM phase 1. And unfortunately for me, I didn't get the nutrition right. So instead of having a big progress and what I was looking for, I kind of messed up a little bit with the nutrition side. And lately, just before Christmas, got too busy for me. And was not possible at that moment to commit for all those training hours per week. So, at the moment I had at that moment I had to stop, and right now I'm picking up back up. But
That's
as I was
awesome.
telling you before, it's been such a transformational journey, not just in terms of fat loss and results and the non-scale victories, but also it's been an empowering journey because I got to meet really a lot of great men like me in my situation that wanted to do better for themselves and for their families.
Hmm.
So it's been a great ride so far, and I'm thrilled to keep going with it.
That's awesome. I'd love to hear about some of your non-skill victories. So, I mean, I know you lost around the 20 kilos, which for our friends in the US might be about 45, close to
Yeah,
50
exactly.
pounds, which is
Sorry.
great. And then you're obviously working your way now to focus on building muscle. So, just talk to us about some of those amazing moments or non-scale victories along the way, and maybe you can even share about some of the biggest things you learned on this program as well.
Yes. The most significant one for me was fitting back in my outfit because as I told you, I used to be on different programs and things before, and I bought those a set of dress. It was a little bit tight for me, so I had
Hmm.
to have that extra had to get a little skinnier to fit in it,
Hmm.
and I never got to fit really nicely in those. And eventually, with working the program, I was even fitting them. It was they were loose in the end. So yeah, so that's been one of the great no-scan victories I can recall right now.
Hmm.
But even the whole idea of the wholeness of the person and the transition that even the program has done over the past year.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it's been great for me because give me back some perspective, and
Hmm.
a different way to see things in life.
Hmm.
Being more connected with my family,
Hmm.
because once you open your eyes, you start seeing things again. I mean, at least for me, it worked this way because I kind of got lazy
Yeah.
in the different areas of my life. But once you open back your eyes, it's something that's really enriching and empowering. So
I really
I'm
resonate
grateful
with
to be
that.
here. Yeah.
It's almost like the weight that we carry externally on our bodies because we've gotten a little lazy physically is also like mirrored as this glaze over our eyes and our hearts that when
Yeah.
everything starts to shift, we get new life and we see things differently. I love that that's been your experience.
Yes, but growing up, then that I want to mention one thing that made me walk with you because
Hmm.
once I got to know you over the social media, I found you on YouTube. I saw your story and I could connect with that. The loss of your dad. I lost my grandfather when I was 8, 9 years old. And since then, I lost basically the person that was always there for us while dad was busy providing for the family.
Hmm.
That kind of so made me really sad, and I was carrying that emotional weight as well, not just it was
Yeah.
showing in the form of fat and excess weight, but there was something inside that needed to change, and eventually I was lucky enough to meet the right people, and I had the courage to take different steps, and until I found you, and still walking that walk.
I'm really proud of you, and I'm so glad that we could connect in that way.
Yeah.
And I want to ask, what were some of the biggest challenges that you overcame on this program? Like, what was really hard for you when you started, and now how have you overcome
Yeah.
some of those challenges?
First of all, it was all the information all at once for me,
Hmm.
as in I was like hitting the wall.
Hmm.
But once I wrapped my mind around it, it was something that was beneficial to the journey because it gave
Hmm.
the structure I was mentioning before. So that was the frame where I was free to, incorporate Apex 10 and then move to the other workouts,
Mm-hmm.
and probably enjoying even the OSM workouts.
Mm-hmm.
So starting from there, the beginning was overwhelming, but that also provided the structure for this
Mm-hmm.
to work out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is true. It's like I almost just because you're speaking English now and also speaking Italian, it's kind of like learning a new language, right? You need to like really immerse yourself and understand the structure of how the language works. And like your health is a little bit like that. You got to like get going and get
Yeah.
the gears turning. So I fully respect that as a journey. How much time did it take you until you felt like I starting to have a groove? Like, was it weeks? Was it months? Like,
I
how quickly
think
was that change?
just over a month.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first 30 days were, the first couple of weeks were harder, but since then, and then turning a month was always getting easier.
Mm-hmm.
So since then, I was really even enjoying the new level of fitness I had achieved.
Mm-hmm.
So it was great because I started working the Apex 10, like not even being able to do proper push-ups. I was still getting down on my knees.
Yeah.
And since then, I started doing that in the full form. Then the Renegade rows, it all fell into place like naturally. So, and right now I'm doing some box classes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm proud to say that I'm probably the fittest guy in the room. So that's something I'm really proud about, and that's thanks to the program.
That's so cool. I want to ask you, from the perspective of both being Italian and being a chef, like in your former profession, what
Yeah.
have you done nutritionally in this program? Like, what does a day in your life look like when you're eating on plan? Like, how have you adapted it? What do you typically eat? When do you eat? Like, run us through some of your nutrition. I'm very curious.
My the thing I enjoyed the most was the perfect plate, Dr. Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
And also the thing that I kept all the way through was the shake, the morning
Mm-hmm.
shake.
Yeah.
So as I told you, I was on keto, so I never been big on carbs since
Mm-hmm.
last 4 or 5 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
So that my go-to meal, first meal of the morning was the shake,
Mm-hmm.
and then a perfect plate that would be, as
Mm-hmm.
you recommend, a quarter of protein or even a
Mm-hmm.
little more, but
Mm-hmm.
plenty of veggies because I
Mm-hmm.
like to cook, and
Mm-hmm.
I used to spend at least 1 or 2 days for prepping. So I was
Mm-hmm.
getting in all the veggies from the local farmers and the meat. If I had the opportunity, I got the good stuff always.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that fueled my new level of energy. So,
Mm-hmm.
as I told you, something that came back full circle and felt in place perfectly. So that's the beauty of the program I found.
And so how have you navigated the Italian culture of, like pasta or bread or stuff like this? Is it just not a part of your life? Does your family adapt? How do you go with that?
Well, my family, as in my father, my mother, uh, they eat a normal standard diet, as in with
Mm,
pasta, bread, and everything. But I was not feeling deprived, not having
mhm,
those kind of foods, because
mhm,
all the things that we put in that plate is so nourishing. So I was not
mhm,
really missing much of it.
mhm.
And plus,
That's great.
I was a little accustomed to this kind of
Yeah.
style you proposed.
Yeah. That's great. All right, I want to ask you a little bit about like what's it been like as a father going through this? I mean, having Aldo, like what's it like, having gained more fitness? How is it showing up in your family, in your
Uh,
emotions like that? Let's talk about your family life a little bit.
yes, yes, yes. I get to play with him, and I literally make him laugh all the time. So I carry him, I play with him, I throw him around, and we're cuddling, playing on the ground. We're doing all sorts of things that dad doesn't normally do. At least, my dad didn't do that as much because I think it's due to the level of energy I reached.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great to be able to do that, and it's something that really nourishes my soul. As in, I'm really attached to him because Aldo was also my grandfather's name. So there is something that
Yeah.
binds us, and
Mm-hmm.
it's beautiful. It's been the greatest joy. I mean, I will be 40 next May, so I can tell you with all honesty that it's been the best thing it ever happened to me.
That is so beautiful.
It's such a
Like,
joy.
also, it's just like this is also your grandfather was an inspiration. Your son is named Aldo.
Yes.
Now you get this new life energy. Like, I feel the significance of that. That is amazing that you've created this experience through your hard work. And so, like, what would you say to somebody now having experienced so much beauty on the other side if they feel like they're emotionally struggling at the beginning of this program? Like, what kind of advice would you
Uh,
give them at the end
just,
of the tunnel? Now you're on the other side. Like, what would you
yeah,
say to help somebody?
just stick to the plan. That's as simple as it gets. As in, there's no way around it. You cannot
Mhm.
have a shortcut or anything like that. It's just that you have to do what you are called to do, and by doing that, you will just find a new version of yourself. And that's the truth behind this thing that you put together, Dr. Anton, because it all works well as it is. We don't need to add
Mhm.
anything and subtract anything to it. So
Mhm.
everything is in place, and that's the beauty of it, because we just to have to follow along and make our best, put our best effort to it. I mean,
Mhm.
it's requiring if you're used to a standard diet, cleaning up your diet, and
Mhm.
starting the struggle with fitness and the Epic Stand, which is obviously going to kick your butt.
Yeah.
But every single member of the brotherhood has been through that, and if you wanna see the other side, you just have to go through it. There's no way around it.
Yeah, that's good. It's a powerful perspective. And I think what you shared in there is like that the whole brotherhood has been through it. So there's this shared bond of knowing that you have a program that works, other guys have done it, you can do it too, and that you're going to transform on the other side of this. That's amazing.
Yes, and also the fact that, as I mentioned before, many other men are in the same your situation. So you realize that it's not something impossible as you mentioned, but it's also something that really can create some friendship. Some
Hmm.
beautiful moments with other men. I don't know personally anyone because I'm obviously out of the country. I'm not based in the US. I probably will not meet anyone in person, but still there are significant relationships. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's
And
another beautiful thing about the Fit Father project.
it really is. I mean, I'm just really soaking that in right now that we're speaking to each other halfway across the world.
Yeah.
Me from the United States, you from Italy, and like you've used this program and you've transformed your life. And so, what do you see as your future in terms of taking your impact as a fit father? Like, what do you see yourself doing in the next 5 to 10 years? Where does this go into the future? And like, do you have plans to help encourage people around your local area? Like, how does that work?
Uh, well, I've tried before with my closer family, as in with my brothers. I got two brothers, mother and dad, but they're not willing to accept the struggle. So
Mm-hmm.
I carried my brother over to the box course,
Mm-hmm.
and he's doing that, but still not taking good care of the diet side
Mm-hmm.
of the equation. But I do my thing, and that's the best way I can show up for them and for my immediate family, like my partner Tiffany and Aldo. Because even
Mm-hmm.
in growing up, he will see what it takes to do things properly and put the effort. and be that kind of person that shows up to their task.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best thing I could teach him, is in being present to life, and do the things that makes you feel better, makes you feel well, and that's the greatest teaching I could think of.
That's really special. I totally agree. I mean, we must be the change we want to see in the world, and that's what we can do.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and so a similar question, last couple ones, kind of about your family and your values. Do you have any bit of like great life advice that you've been given or that you regularly give or live by? Some words of wisdom that just feel really true to you?
Oh, there certainly are, but not like I can think right now, because I'm a bit, excited, as in I got really, and I'm kind of going with the flow. There's
Yeah,
that should have few moments to think about it, but
that's
I
fine.
prefer to stay here.
That's
Say,
fine. Do you have a family tradition or something you do with your family that's pretty special for you guys? I just want the brotherhood to get a nice snapshot into your life. Is there anything that you do as a family that's important to you as like a family value?
well, we work all together, and
Uh,
there is that part of being together, being there for each other, and provide. As in, my brother has three little ones.
mhm,
But it's not that what I'm doing just for me and my family. I'm doing also for him and his family. So there's this kind of bond between us. I am the first of three brothers,
mhm,
and I always wanted to be independent. So as soon as I finished the school, I wanted to go to vocational school. I went study like 50 kilometers away. I had to stay there, and
mhm,
since I was able to work full time, I wanted to go on my own. I found an apartment. I wanted to be independent,
mhm,
and coming back, it's coming back from Australia where I was.
mhm,
It's been mm, reinforcing those bonds once again.
hmm,
So it is nice. It's got also some challenges, like work and family are not
sure.
always working ideally, but there's this big love that unites us, and that's something that I want to show also to Aldo, growing up.
Mhm.
There's this part of the being, you know,
Yeah,
like giving
for
him
sure.
some good values, some real values,
Yeah.
something that's been shown also from my grandfather. That kind of
Mhm,
presence, being there for your loved ones, and caring for them in a way that's not just the material stuff and the material side, it's also the emotional side.
mhm,
He was always there asking us if we wanted to go somewhere to play in a playground or go having a pizza or whatever. He was always there for us, and it was something fantastic that I'm really happy I got to experience,
mhm,
because after the grief and all the pain, like few years ago, I came to realize that was the biggest gift, having had to experience that, you know, after all the pain and the stuff that made me even be, even like cursing,
mhm.
because the pain is it's not beautiful, but I'm very happy to have had that example, you know, and that stands still to these days. So that's something that really got got into me, and I am very mindful about it. Not just
Mhm.
being selfish and caring just about myself, but also about my family, the people I love. I want to be there for
Mhm.
them, and that's one of my biggest whys that
Yeah.
was even present in the mission statement.
Mhm.
Being still independent when I'll be 80, maybe, I don't know, whatever. independent, strong, and they could still rely on me, on my side, being that kind of figure for my family. That's
sure.
what I see myself in the near future and in the long run.
That was a very powerful and beautiful share. I resonate so deeply with everything you just said. And I think it's just a really good reminder that the painful moments, oftentimes on the other side of them, are where we see the greatest treasure looking back, and the things that we want to bring forward, like the passing of your grandfather, and now carrying this torch forward for your family. That's painful, but it's also beautiful. The adoption of this program and going through the first 30 days is painful, but then it's beautiful. So it's like embracing, I guess, the fact that we feel these pains and knowing that there's more beauty to come is an important lesson for us to be able to walk through adversity.
It makes a life worth to live. So as simple as that, at least to what I've experienced. So
yeah, I agree with you for sure. This is a wonderful conversation, and I want to turn it over to you one more time to either give any closing advice you have, or any shout outs to anyone in the Brotherhood or on our team who has had a big impact on your journey.
The Brotherhood is full with great lads. As in, the first one that comes to my mind is Shane Dixon. As I was a newbie, he was a veteran. He was there in dispensing advices and being a nice guy. And also, I would shout out for MJ Milner. Yeah, he's a great guy. And there's also Peter Olson, many of them, really. Because even other brothers that are not working the same phase that you're on are a source of inspiration for what's coming next and what can drive you for what's next. As in all the guys that were doing OSM, it certainly inspired me still while working the FF30X phases. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. Well, I mean, those are all amazing guys, and I know the many others. And I want to thank you on behalf of our Brotherhood for now turning around and sharing on your end to inspire more guys. And it's really beautiful to see the gift keep on giving. So, Roberto, thank you for your time today. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Dr. Anthony. Ciao.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Fit Father Project podcast. If you love what you heard, please rate and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts. It really helps spread this show to more men who need this valuable info. To watch full video episodes of this podcast and other motivational videos to inspire your training and more, visit our Fit Father Project YouTube channel. It's free and everything's made for busy guys over 40 like you. Visit youtube.com/Fit Father Project to get access to our entire video library. And finally, if you or someone in your life is interested in becoming a fit father or needs help losing weight, building muscle, and living healthier after age 40, then visit fitfatherproject.com, where you can see our proven programs, supplement line for guys 40 plus, and free meal plan and workouts to get you started. This is Dr. Anthony Balduzzi signing off. I'll see you in the next episode.